Hello, welcome to PBA 305, American Public Policy Comes Alive. Also, where, you guessed it, where puppies come alive. Here are Dixie and Emmy. They're here to see you today to say hi. Oh, they said they missed you so much. They were at their grandmother's last week, but they're home. And they said, hello, hope you all had a good week. Hope you have a good weekend and have a good week ahead of you. This is going to be a fun week for you. Okay, y'all have fun. All right. Be good. Okay. All right. So just getting started this week. Y'all overall did a really great job last week. Really enjoyed looking at y'all's stuff and think that we're all tracking here, so it's good stuff. Also, just a brief recap where we've been. We've looked at agenda setting. We've looked at policy development, and we've looked at policy legitimation. So basically, had a really good week last week where we looked at, how do we actually legitimize policy, either through research studies or looking at Supreme Court tests, okay, or referendums or initiative crowdsourcing those policies to make sure that they're doing really, really well and going to meet the needs of the stakeholders. So getting feedback from stakeholders, that's an important part of the process often. So this week, we're going to look at policy implementation. So what do we do once those policies are legitimized and said that they're going to work and they're put into law? Okay, now it's up to, at the federal level, federal agencies to implement those policies. And it takes we're kind of, in a lot of ways, starting the problem-solving process over, okay? So you're presented with a whole new level of challenges. How are you going to execute this policy? How are you going to implement this policy? What resources do you have to make available to those people that are going to be enacting these policies, putting them in place, but also all the people participating in it, or the end users of the policy. For example, in healthcare policy, the end users of, say, for example, Medicare are the patients. So we have to make sure we have funding available the way the current structure is set up to fund aging and elderly people who need medical attention. And so that is an ongoing process to make sure that funding is available through budgeting. So there could be a lot of opportunities. There could also be a lot of challenges, and we need to make sure that resources are allocated the right way and available, or else the policy can't be implemented. So this takes a lot of leadership, and it also takes a lot of managerial prowess. So all of you guys, if you're in this class, I have no doubt, if you're not already, will be a leader or a manager at some day in the near future or in your career. So, and life in general. So this is something that is a challenge that takes leadership and management to get policies done and implemented. And also it takes people who are the participants involved. So the person who's implementing the policy also has to have willing participants to participate and implement these policies and receive these policies, for it all to work and come together. So honestly, a lot of times the people working together to collaborate to implement policies aren't under a formal organizational structure. We're going to look at this week vertical policy implementation, horizontal policy implementation, as well as from the ground up policy implementation. So basically, when you're going from the top down, you have, like, for example, federal is going to delegate a policy structure to the state level, and then the state level may even delegate further down to the local level to see that different programs are administered at the local level, at the ground floor. And so that's a top-down approach. The horizontal approach, say, for example, you have multiple agencies working together. You could have, at the federal level, you could have Health and Human Services, EPA working together. You could have, for example, you could have NASA and the Department of Defense working together to implement a policy that meets a congressional decided policy, for example. You could also have the ground up approach where local needs arise or policies arise, and they need help from a larger entity to regulate or to help administer these policies. Okay, so a lot of times you can source from the ground up, but you also have the top-down approach and the horizontal approach. So we're going to look at that this week as well. Anyways, I just wanted to thank all you guys. I think everyone's doing a great job. I'm going to bring Dixie and Emmy back up here. They're wanting to say hi again, it sounds like. So, okay, y'all have a great week. We'll see you later. Okay, all right. Y'all have a great time. Okay, bye-bye. Good girls.